What's up guys, Matt here with Hams Mobile Services. Got a good one for you, especially you new guys. I'm a new guy as well. Had some good learning stuff on this one here, so we'll get right into it. Alright guys, so this was actually my first paid job that wasn't a family member. I showed up to this house and realized the driveway sloped towards the garage, so I knew I didn't want my runoff going into the garage. I checked these grates and they were full of leaves and dirt, so I went ahead and scooped that out for them. Didn't even charge them for it, didn't worry about it, you know. My first job, I just wanted to dress to impress, I guess is what you can say. Alright guys, so while I was doing my research, I found out you need to wet down your vegetation extremely well, especially where you're going to be laying down your SH. Your SH will destroy anything green if you leave it on there. I did it once, luckily it was a family member. So just be really careful of that. Make sure you pre-soak your vegetation and post-soak it. Rinse it before and after. I'm using an X-Jet there to lay down my SH, and once I got the whole driveway coated, I started cleaning. I started at the bottom here because that's what people say to do. You can see me fighting my garden hose there. I changed this approach quickly because I realized as I washed further up the driveway, I'd have to re-rinse the same areas again. But yeah, started at the bottom because that's what they told me to do, and this is one of the things I learned from, and this is one of the things I changed now. I start at the top and work my way down. I'm rinsing it here. You'll see me rinse it again later. So here we go. I switched gears. I started surface cleaning at the top there. And as you can see, my water is running down the driveway to the areas I have not cleaned yet. They say when you lay your SH down, you're not supposed to let it dry. Or on concrete, you can let it dry, but you're supposed to re-soak it before you start cleaning it again. So I went in a sideways pattern, then went up and down, make sure I got all my lines out. I was getting some lines. You can also post treat to get rid of this, but this is the route I decided to take. But as I'm working down the driveway, it's wetting the next area I'm gonna go into. So I surface cleaned a couple blocks there, and then I'd go back right here and start rinsing it off. And then I'd move on to the next section when I was done with that. And I just kept working my way down the sidewalk. I think there was 4 or 5 blocked sections like this. And so that's how I like to work. So that's how I do it. So I'm getting down towards the end of the driveway here. Already surface clean it. I'm rinsing it off now that I'm done. If you don't rinse it, that dirt will settle back down into the concrete, so rinsing is very important. And while we're here, you can see I'm rinsing that same area I'd already rinsed once because I started at the bottom. So as you see, my pressure washer is sitting in the grass there. I'm using basically what the pressure washer came with, which was a 50-foot pressure hose, and I dragged it around the house multiple times and it lost a whole bunch of time on it. What I'm doing here is I'm taking a turbo nozzle, going back and touching up the areas that the surface cleaner didn't get very well, such as the edges or the really nasty areas. I went ahead and decided to surface clean every flat surface I could except for the back patio, and that's because I didn't want to walk my surface cleaner all the way around the house. They wanted me to do this front patio here, the sidewalk, and the back patio. I threw the back patio in for free. So it's the same thing here. Once I'm done surface cleaning, I'm gonna take my J-rod and just rinse the whole area, everything I just cleaned. So you see my pressure washer is moved. This is my second of 4 moves, I believe, of the pressure washer while I was washing this house. So this is at the time I decided I had to upgrade my equipment if I was going to keep doing this. This job took me, I think, 2 hours more than it should have for sure. So here I'm using my X-Jet with my house mix to get everything soaked up and ready to start killing those natural organics. I pre-soaked those bushes before I started. This lady had just had her landscaping redone, and I wanted to be extra careful with those bushes because I'm pretty sure she just had them done. So you see I switched my J-rod. I'm soaking the bushes while I'm letting my chem dwell, and then I'm gonna go back and start rinsing the house. I was having some problems with some of the gutters here. I didn't get a strong enough mix on them, or I didn't have enough dwell time. Not really sure, but I had to go back and do it again at the end. Something I just actually learned was to do a second walk around, make sure everything looks good. And so I do that on every house. And when I'm done doing everything, I go back with my backpack sprayer and a slightly stronger mix, and I hit all the areas that I don't like. This rock area here, this is the first time I've done rocks like that. I actually rinsed it multiple times because I didn't like the way it looked. I did not know efflorescence was a thing at this point, and those rocks had some efflorescence on it, and I thought it was dried chemical, and it was making me really nervous, but it turned out it was there already. So the customer was very happy with how all of this turned out. So here I am rinsing it a second time, and I think I went back and actually rinsed it a third time as well. So those lights you see there, I ended up actually rinsing them probably 4 or 5 times. Every time I rinsed them, more dirt came out. So towards the end, I actually just kind of rinsed underneath them and quit spraying the lights themselves. This side of the house here, I'd already sprayed my chemical. I forgot to turn on my camera while I was doing that. These gutters were giving me problems. I didn't realize gutter whitening was a separate thing at this point. So I actually soaked this side of the house twice with chemical and rinsed it twice. Here I am a second time spraying my chem, and now I'm rinsing it one more time. The gutters actually turned out pretty well. So we're on the back side of the house here. Again, I forgot to record spraying my SH on there. I'm wetting the grass really good because back here I was getting a lot of overspray on everything. Windows, you gotta make sure you rinse those windows super well. So this is the patio I went ahead and threw in for free. This is getting turbo nozzled. This guy here is not. These steps were stained and I couldn't get the stain off. So after this, you'll see a bleach stain on my shirt right there. That was actually my pump sprayer started leaking on me, and so I ended up staining my shirt. But I washed those stairs 3 or 4 times, got a lot of the color out, but they weren't perfectly white when I was done. But again, the customer was really happy with it. So here I am throwing the turbo nozzle down on this back patio because I didn't want to carry my surface cleaner. At this point, I think I'd walked around the house 4 or 5 times. My initial walk around, I found out one side of the house, the spigot wasn't working. So that's part of the reason I did it the way I did it. Alright guys, so after I finish here, I'm going to start rinsing everything off like normal. So at this point I realized I had to do something. I was dead exhausted from moving all my equipment, walking around the house 4 or 5 different times, you know. So after this I bought a 150-foot pressure hose, mounted the stuff in the bed of my truck, and the very next job I ended up having to take my stuff out of my truck again. Lost a whole bunch of time. So at that job, which is going to be in my next video, I decided to forget it. I bought extra hose, extra reels, and everything is mounted in the bed of my truck. I've washed a couple times with it that way. Now it is so much better. I save so much time not having to haul my equipment around the house anymore. Alright guys, so that's it. If you haven't seen my video on my pressure washer setup in my truck, that's what I was talking about with my final setup, the one I'm using now, so I don't have to remove my stuff from the truck. Best thing I ever did. Well, I said in that video, I'll say it again, these guys tell you need to buy a certain amount of stuff. Go ahead and do it. I lost hours and hours on jobs moving my stuff around like you saw in this one. So I hope you guys learned from this. I certainly did while I was doing it. That's it for this time. I guess I'll see you next video.